Hi, this is Melissa again with Sources for Federal Indian Policy Part 2, Searching for Laws in Court Cases. In this video, we're going to get into more detail into legal research resources. We're going to look at a useful law and legal studies subject guide. We're going to talk a little bit about law reviews, which can be found in Hein Online and LexisNexis. We're going to look up a case in Google Scholar. We're going to use the LexisNexis Legal Research module to find cases and laws. We're going to start today at the library homepage and get to our subject guides. From here, we're going to find Law and Criminal Justice. And we're going to click on Law and Legal Studies. This guide was put together by Olivia Ivy, our Public Affairs Librarian. It has various tabs that are going to take you to resources to help you find law journals, laws, and court cases. I've been calling them law reviews, but law journals and law reviews can be used interchangeably. A law review is a publication from a law school that has both summaries of law and cases, and also scholarly articles. Here in the center, you'll see that we have two main resources for law reviews: Hein Online Law Journal Library and LexisNexis Academic. Since we haven't looked at Hein Online yet, let's look at that. That's our other major legal electronic resource. And I'm going to go right into the Law Journal Library. And I'm going to look up articles related to a particular law. This is one you might remember from our last video. I can look in either the text of the article, or I can limit my search to other parts of it. For example, the article title. Okay, here are some articles then that summarize that law. Go into one of them. And here you're going to see the PDF of the article. And going through, I paged through a little bit, you can see that not only is it going to give us a good background on this issue in terms of federal Indian law, but also is going to start to cite some things. Here's some court cases. It's also going to cite some statutes here. Remember, we talked a little bit about this citation for a statute. Here's citations to the U.S. Code. So not only is it a great narrative providing context for and explanations of various parts of this law, but it also will send you to the appropriate laws and court cases. I also should mention that you can look up laws by the citation. For example, that law, the Indian Healthcare Improvement Act, is public, and they use PUBL 94-437. If I do that, I also get articles that way. So far, we've been concentrating on looking up laws. Let's do a little bit of court case searching. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually look up case law in Google Scholar. If you flip this over to case law and then select the court, we're going to do federal courts because I've got a Supreme Court case. If you want to and you know the citation, you can just put that in. So here I'm doing this is a citation for a Supreme Court case. Remember, we talked about this a little bit. This is the 485th volume of the United States Reporter, page 439. That's what that means. And here we get right to the Supreme Court case. Another way you can use Google Scholar, besides looking up an individual case, is let's say we don't have any citation. You can also go under here and see a list of all the courts. Perhaps you're interested maybe in choosing a couple of states where many Native Americans live. So I'm going to do North Dakota and South Dakota. And I'm going to click on Done. And then you can search for some terms, for example, Indian schools. And I can pull up cases that deal with Indian schools in those two states. Okay, so either by known case or by topic, you can find some relevant court cases this way. And finally, we're back here to our friend LexisNexis Academic. I'm going to show you the legal research module that LexisNexis has. You have to go up here to search by content type. And then you see legal here, you see federal and state cases, there's law reviews, the same things we found in Hein Online, state statutes, federal statutes. Let's look at a case first. I'm going to go to federal and state cases. You can either enter the parties' names, or if you have the citation, you can enter that. But you must enter it in quotation marks so that LexisNexis treats that as a phrase. So here's my case, Native American Arts versus JCPenney. One thing that LexisNexis does that Google Scholar does not is it gives you access to cases that followed or cited this case. If you look over here, there will be a little icon that relates, sometimes it's green if there were positive things said about the case later on, and sometimes it's a yellow triangle, which means that there were some negative remarks, the case wasn't followed. Sometimes you'll even see red icon that means the case was totally reversed. But if you click on this, then you can see other cases. This case seems to have been followed by a number of other cases. Okay, so it can be useful to find those cases and see, how the case related to further law. Let's go back to our search, and good old LexisNexis it doesn't keep the legal research module open. You have to re-choose it when you do a search. That's kind of annoying, but there it is. Let's instead go to federal statutes and regulations this time, and we can search for a particular I'm using the popular name this time. All right. And here I'm starting to get into something we haven't seen yet, the CFR, or the Code of Federal Regulations. The Code of Federal Regulations are actually what is implemented to carry out the law. Okay, so that also could be useful to you. Let me go back. If you want to, there is an advanced option here. I'm going to go back to federal statutes and regulations. See this advanced options? This allows you to do a couple things. For example, if you wanted to search the U.S. Code or public law, you can actually do that. Okay, and what I would recommend is using some of these segments to help build your search. For example, I could ask to have this searched in the text. If I apply that in search, I'm searching the U.S. Code now. Okay, so here are my parts of the U.S. Code. that might relate to arts and crafts. Okay. So there we go. I have one more thing to show you from the library homepage, how to get in touch with my colleagues and I under Ask a Librarian. You see that you can visit us through our chat service over here. We also have telephone, we have a text number, we have a desk that is open during the week 11 to 8 and Friday 11 to 5 and Saturday and Sunday 1 to 6. Please feel free to get in touch with us if we can help you in any way. Thank you.